In this video, I'll explain what impact high policy charges on FSAVC pension plans have compared to alternative pension arrangements. But just to start with a quick recap, what exactly do we mean by FSAVC pension plan? So FSAVC is an abbreviation of Freestanding Additional Voluntary Contributions. Despite the long-winded name, FSAVC pension plans had a simple purpose. They were designed to help employees build up extra benefits on top of their employer's pension scheme. Most people don't accrue anywhere near the maximum pension and lump sum that they could, so FSAVCs were intended to help bridge the gap to a secure retirement. Monthly premiums are paid into an investment fund, and at retirement, the accrued pot will provide extra benefits to boost the workplace pension. They were a very popular recommendation in the 1990s, and over 1 million such plans were sold, often to public sector professionals like teachers and doctors. The major drawback with FSAVCs were the high policy charges. Charges significantly lower the fund value. Simply, the more that is taken out of each contribution or fund in charges, the less will be available for investment. Consider this simple example. A typical FSAVC plan will have a charge equivalent to about 2% of the fund growth every year. Now, 2% doesn't sound much, but it's the same as saying a fund has grown by 8% a year, say, instead of 10% a year. Effectively, the growth has been cut by 20%. To illustrate that in monetary terms, let's say you pay £100 per month into a pension plan for 20 years, and the fund growth is 10% per annum. You will have £72,398 at the end of that period, assuming you achieve the 10% returns. Reducing those returns by the 2% charge typical on FSAVCs, so growth is now 8% a year, would be sufficient to reduce the returns to £57,226, a difference of £15,132, or a loss of 20% in fund value. That is the impact of high policy charges, and it's really important to understand such charges could have been avoided because different pension plans for topping up employer schemes were available from within those schemes themselves. It was a legal requirement from 1988 onwards that all employer schemes had to let members pay more if they wanted to. It's known as paying additional voluntary contributions, or AVCs for short. And most employer schemes would subsidise their AVCs policies, reducing the policy charges to much lower levels than was typical with FSAVC pension plans, or even removing those charges altogether. Such charges on FSAVCs were usually made up of admin fees, so FSAVC pension plans typically involve various fees including annual management fees, admin charges and other expenses. Such charges are deducted from the fund on an ongoing basis, reducing the amount of money available for investment and growth. There are fund management costs involved with FSAVCs. Many FSAVC pension plans invest in a range of funds or assets such as equities, bonds or other financial instruments. These funds often charge their own management fees on top of the policy's admin fees, and which are borne by the investors. So there's sales commission as well. Insurance agents or financial advisors earned high commissions for selling FSAVC pension plans. These commissions were often front-loaded, which means a significant portion of the initial contributions went towards paying them. That reduced the initial amount available for investment, hindering the long-term growth of the pension fund. And finally, penalties and surrender charges. Some FSAVC pension plans have penalties or surrender charges if you decided to discontinue or transfer the plan before a certain period of time had elapsed. These charges can be significant and can further erode the fund value if you need to access your pension savings early for any reason. So over time, the impact of high charges can significantly reduce the potential growth of your pension fund. The effect of compounding can be especially powerful over the long term, so even seemingly small differences in charges can have a substantial impact on the final fund value. So were you warned about these charges during the sale? And even more importantly, were you told that alternative AVC arrangements existed which would remove or reduce most of them significantly? If not, you may have been the victim of mis-selling. If you suspect you were a victim of FSAVC mis-selling, it's crucial to seek advice and guidance to address the impact on your retirement. I set up Greg Vaughan Financial Services and Pension Claims with the sole aim of helping people do just that. So please feel free to get in touch for a free, no obligation assessment of your FSAVC sale. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you think you're a victim of mis-selling or just have some further questions, you can contact me at www.pension-claims.com. Many thanks for watching.